Today I will be teaching chapter number 4. This is for class 4. As in the last class we had seen how plants and animals are useful to us. So hence we came to know that they are very important. Today in this class we are going to see that because they are important to us, so we have to take care of them. So we are going to see how to take care of those plants and animals. So here is the name of the chapter, Care of Plants and Animals. Now if you can recall, we know that by the process of photosynthesis, plants they make food. Okay, plants they make food by the process of photosynthesis, and then all the food is not used up by them, so they store some amount of food in the form of starch, which is a sugar. Okay, then what happens is that many animals are there which eats plants. We know that, right? Example, we have goat, we have a cow. So the plant, it is storing starch. Next, what is happening? Animals like cows and all, we are eating up this. They are eating up the plant. Okay. So as a result, the animal is getting energy from it. Fine. So in this way, we can say that they are important to us. Now we also know that by the process of photosynthesis, plants they also produce oxygen, and this oxygen is needed for the survival of living beings. Alright, and then plants in turn, for the process of photosynthesis only, they need carbon dioxide. And from where do they get that carbon dioxide? From animals, because we take in oxygen and then we are giving out carbon dioxide. So plants, they are taking that carbon dioxide from us. Alright, then we can see that we said to grow healthy plants we need manure. Manure, what is manure? It means natural fertilizer or things which are used to make the soil fertile. For example, we said we can use cow dung, right? So obviously you can understand that this is again, plants will be getting this from the animals. Okay, so in this way you can see that plants and animals, they are all dependent on each other, and plants cannot survive without human beings, or animals, and animals as well, they cannot survive without plants. So both of them are required for the survival. Next we are going to talk about balance in nature. Now, as I said that plants, they need animals for the survival, and animals as well, they need plants for the survival. So basically there is a balance in nature, alright? And this balance, it has to be maintained. Now, green plants, what they do is that they make food for themselves with the help of sunlight. They require sunlight also, alright? Then what they are doing, they are utilizing this food for themselves, and also they are storing some of it. So we can say that for plants, the sunlight or sun is the main source of energy. For plants. Okay. Then again, you will see that these plants, they are eaten up by herbivores. The plants, they are eaten up by herbivores. Now, what are herbivores? Herbivores are the animals which eat only plants. Okay, so they eat only plants. For example, we have cow, we have goat. All right. So what are the herbivores doing? They are eating up the plant, and remember the plant, it made food and it stored it in the form of starch. So animals, they are eating the plants, or they are taking the starch from the plants for their growth and survival. Alright. Now again, there are certain animals which eat only, like you can say, flesh or meat. They are known as the carnivores. So these are the animals which eat only flesh. Okay, only flesh, or you can say meat. For example, in the carnivores, we have tiger, then wolves, alright. We have tigers, we have wolves. So you can see that the carnivore, they are getting their energy from the herbivores. Now again, there is one more type of organism, you can say, which are the omnivores. Now what are the omnivores? omnivores are those organisms which eat both plants and animals. They eat both plants and animals, alright? So you can think of this example. Example is what? You can say example is man or human beings. Because we eat flesh of other animals, we eat chicken, right? So we are eating flesh also as well as we are eating plants also because we eat vegetables also. Fine. So you can see that these omnivores, again, they can eat both carnivores and herbivores. So basically there is a flow of energy. There is basically a flow of energy and this is known as the food chain. For example, I will give one more simple example here. See, we have, suppose there is a carrot, okay? Suppose there is a carrot. Now this is from where we get this carrot from the plant. Now this will, or the energy that is stored in this carrot, this will be eaten by a rabbit. Next again, this rabbit, it can be eaten by a wolf. Okay, so you can see that the energy is flowing. And from here, we can say one more thing, that animals are either directly or indirectly dependent on plants. Okay, directly why? The animal is directly eating the plant, then it is directly dependent on it. And if we do not eat this plant also, we are eating the animal, then the animal is still getting the energy from the plant. So we are indirectly also dependent on the plants. And this balancing nature has to be maintained, alright. For example, now see, if I have a land here, if I have a land, alright, and there are small trees or plants, suppose there are plants here, then what happens if there are plenty of goats? The goats will come here and what will they do? They will eat up the plants, okay. Now, if there are too many goats, then what will happen? They will finish the entire plant population very quickly, right? They will finish the entire food. So as a result, what will happen? There will be very little plants left, alright? So if there are little plants left, that means we will get less oxygen and there will be less food. Okay, next another example. So next another example you can see, if suppose here the goat were more, okay. Now if the plants become more in number, if there are more plants and less number of herbivores or animals, then what will happen? Lots of means, the plants will stay there, but because there are less animals, then they will not get enough carbon dioxide to produce their food. So that is why there should be a balance, okay. Next again, this is there, and apart from this, as we know that hence we can see for this balance we have to look after both plants also, animals also. So we are now going to study that how to take care of them. So first we will start by plants, okay, how to take care of plants. In preservation and for taking care and protection of the plants, we have these following points. We will be seeing them one by one. The first point is proper water and sunlight. Now for plants to grow properly, what do we need? We have to give them proper amount of water and we have to place them in such a way so that they get proper amount of sunlight. Now if we put too less water or too much of water, then the plant won't be able to grow properly. In a similar way, if the plant does not receive proper amount of sunlight, then again it will not grow properly. So we have to water them daily, and then for getting sunlight also, what we have to do, when we are planting these saplings or seeds, we should keep a little bit distance between them, okay, so that when they grow up, they can get the sunlight. Then the next point is minerals and nutrients. So for growing the plants, they require minerals and nutrients, and from where do they get this? They are getting this from the soil. So what the soil, it has to be rich in minerals and nutrients, that means, okay. So how are we going to make it rich in minerals and nutrients? We have to give manure so that it becomes rich in these. We can also use fertilizers, okay, we can also use fertilizers. We can also use fertilizers to make these these are basically chemicals, or it can be organic also. That means you can get it from animals also. And we give this, or we mix it in the soil so that it becomes rich in minerals and nutrients. Alright. Now, what happens is that, suppose if this is your soil, if a plant grows here, suppose a tree is growing here, for this plant to grow up, its roots are going to what? It is going to take up the minerals from the soil. So after some time, the plant is going to use up the minerals, and hence the soil will again become deficient in minerals. Okay, that means what do we have to do? From time to time, we have to keep on supplying minerals and nutrients in the form of manure or fertilizers, so that they can grow properly. Now the third one is insecticides and pesticides. Often we see that when we are growing crops or any tree, what happens is that there are many pests. Okay, we call them pests. These are basically insects, like unwanted insects, which can eat the leaves or they eat the fruits. As a result, what happens is that the plants, they get affected. Sometimes they even eat up the roots of the plants. Okay, so insecticides and pesticides, these are like chemicals, you can say, which are sprayed on the field so that so as to keep away these pests or insects. Fine. Then what happens is, okay, yeah, the next point here is protection from adverse conditions. Now, sometimes, as you can see, sometimes there is an instant weather change. Maybe it's very hot and then it suddenly starts raining again. So there is a, it can be intense raining, it can be intense heat. So in order to protect, so that is known as adverse condition. So in order to protect the plants from adverse condition, what is done? Greenhouse, okay? Greenhouse are built. Greenhouse. These are places, it's like more or less like a house type. Fine. What is done there is that the plants are kept there and a constant temperature is maintained, so that the plants, they do not get affected by extreme heat or extreme cold. Okay, and in this way also you can see that the plants, they can grow well, they can grow properly. Next we see preservation of forests. Now, what are forests? These are the lands where you can see plenty of trees. Okay, they are very tall, and you can see that huge area is entirely covered with plants. Now, what has to be done here is that we have to preserve the forest. Why? From the forest we are getting different things. We are getting wood, we are getting medicine, we are getting fruits. Okay, everything we are getting from there. And also these forests, it not only it is not only beneficial for us, but it is also the habitat of many animals. For example, you can see that many animals are there, they live in forests, and then trees, they even have nests, okay, where the birds live. So it is very important to preserve this forest. The other thing is that we have to preserve this forest because if we constantly cut down trees, then what is going to happen? Carbon dioxide level will keep on increasing. As a result, the temperature of the earth will keep on increasing. So there will be an imbalance there. And we know that forests these days, they are generally cut down to make industries, to make and build houses. Alright, so all this is resulting in what? It is causing imbalance in nature. Now for this preservation of forest, 1 week is celebrated as Van Mahotsava. Okay, it is celebrated as Van Mahotsava. Now the word Van in Hindi, this means forest, and Mahotsava is a festival. So what is done is that to increase awareness, this 1 week of the year, it is celebrated as Vana Mahotsava. Okay, and here you can see the different children's grown up, they come, they plant trees or they plant saplings, and then they look after them. Fine. Now next we'll be going to the care and protection of animals. The next topic is care and protection of animals. So we are going to see how to take care of animals and how are we supposed to protect them. The first very important thing is that we know that there are lots of wild animals and they are being killed, okay, by this hunting. Many people are hunting on them. If you know, this hunting is banned, alright. So first what we have to do is that preventing hunting of the wild animals. Because of hunting, many of the animals, they die. So we have to prevent this first. This is for protection of the wild animals, alright. Next, if you see, we have domestic animals as well. Now what are domestic animals? These are the animals which you can keep in your houses. For example, in your houses, you can take care of, like you have this cow, you have horses, you have dogs. These are all domestic animals. Okay. So next we will just see how to take care of these domestic animals. Now, you have to provide food and shelter. When you are bringing any, suppose if you are bringing a dog, alright, or if you have a cow, then you have to provide it a proper shelter. You cannot just keep it, you know, outside without any proper shelter. Otherwise, it will suffer. You know, it will get wet when it's raining, or because of intense heat. What will happen? The cow will fall sick. Alright, so that is why we have to provide them proper food and shelter so that they can live nicely. And the other thing is that from proper food, their health will be okay and they can grow properly. Fine. Next is medication. Like human beings only, animals, they also fall sick. So if your domestic animal falls sick, it is obviously your responsibility to take care of them. We have to take them to doctors. Okay, now the doctors of these animals, they are known as veterinary. Okay, they are the veterinary, and we have a hospital also for that, is specially hospital of animals, that is the veterinary hospital. So we have to take them to the doctors, and the doctors will give them medicines and they will become alright. The next one is cleanliness of surroundings. Now, if like we don't like to live in areas which is dirty, right? If there is lots of water, then what will happen? If it is constantly there, then we know that mosquitoes will come and we face other kinds of problems. Alright. Similarly, wherever you are keeping the animals, even their surroundings have to be clean. Otherwise, they will face problem. Okay, it is not hygienic to keep anybody in dirty kind of condition. Next is good treatment. Like as you can see that domestic animals, they are alive, means they have life, and they have feelings like us, alright, like human beings only. So we have to treat them in a proper way. We have to give them bath, we have to keep them in good condition. Okay, because they're useful to us, so we have to do all these things. Now, in the previous chapter and now in this chapter, we have just seen that how plants and animals, they are useful to us, right? But not all plants and animals are always useful to us. So our next topic here is going to be harmful plants. Harmful plants. Now what happens is that often you will see that if you have a big field here, right? If you are planting trees here, say any tree, sometimes at the down here you can find grasses or other kind of plants which are unwanted. You did not plant them, they have just occurred. Okay, so these unwanted plants are known as weeds. These unwanted plants, they are known as weeds. Okay, and there is a serious problem with weeds. What happens is that these weeds, they grow, for example, grass. They grow much faster than the actual plant or the plant that we are planting. So what happens here is that, see, all the plants and the weeds, they are here in the same soil. So as the tree are taking nutrition from this soil, these weeds which are growing and which are unwanted, they are also taking up nutrition from the soil. As a result, the nutrition for these plants will fall short. Okay, so these plants will not be able to grow properly or they won't be healthy. So what do we have to do? So these weeds, they are the harmful plants and we don't need them. Okay, this weed is actually terrestrial. Like this example which I have given you here are terrestrial weeds. Okay, they are terrestrial. That means on land. Fine. Now there is another kind of weed which is aquatic. Aquatic means water. In a similar way, like I gave you the example here, if there is a pond, alright, what happens? Small planktons or really small plants are there. What happens is that they can cover this entire pond. As a result, what happens is that when they are covering this entire pond, then after some time there will be deficiency of oxygen. Inside this pond there are living things, right? There are fishes and other organisms, and there are plants as well. So what will happen, because this weed is covering the entire place, what happens? Oxygen, it cannot pass properly, alright? As a result, what will happen? The animals, they are going to suffer. And then there are many plants also which grow underwater. So what happens here also, see, because they have covered the entire area properly, the sunlight won't be able to reach these plants also. So as a result, these weeds there, we can see that they are harmful. Okay. So as a result, what do we have to do? We have to clean the ponds and we have to clean the fields regularly so that we can get rid of these weeds. The next one is harmful animals. Now, if you have heard in the news, just maybe last month or what happened is that we heard about locusts, right? We heard about locusts. We could hear in the news that huge, wave of locusts was coming, and then it actually it affected parts of Rajasthan. So what are these? These are basically insects which are more or less like grasshoppers, okay? They appear like grasshoppers. And they do not come like 1, 2. They come in a huge wave, or they come in swarms or groups, and they can destroy an entire crop field in just few minutes. So we can see that these animals or these insects, they are basically not useful to us. Instead, they are harmful. Now these locusts, what they do is that they lay eggs. Okay, during autumn. They lay eggs during autumn, and during autumn only, what do these farmers they do? They plow their field. As a result, their eggs get destroyed. Okay, so in this way they protect their field. So this was all for this chapter. Now I'll give you the objective type questions. This is the picture from this same chapter. You can see that a person, he is giving this insecticides or pesticides in the crops. Okay, he is spraying it so that the crops can remain healthy and the pests won't come. Next image here, see here, this is the image of a greenhouse where you can see that the plants are kept. Okay, this you can see a farmer or a person, he is watering the plants. And see, look here, these are the hill slopes. So what is done? Plants are, see, look, there is vegetation or plants are planted here so as to avoid soil erosion. Let's go to the objective type questions now. See here, first one is manure, second oxygen, third plants, fourth domestic. Tick, cross, tick, cross, cross, tick. Match the following. This one is 3, plankton is 4, pesticide 2, century 1. This one, see, circled here, water, air, sunlight, pesticides, insecticides, manure, soil. Centuries, good health for domestic. Here animals is here, and then here animals, preserving. Now look at the question and answers. Animals depend on plants for food, medicine, etc. Plants depend on animals for carbon dioxide, dispersal of seed, etc. Carnivores keep a balance in nature by feeding on the herbivores. We should preserve our forests because they give us food, wood, medicine and oxygen. They keep the environment cool and prevent soil erosion. 2 ways are, we must provide food and shelter to domestic animals. We must keep the living area and surrounding clean of these animals. 2 ways are, proper water and sunlight for plants are essential. Plants need minerals and nutrients for their growth.